Are you going to
I don't know yet. Probably right on your face. It's a good face, so I don't mind showing it.
Yeah, I'll smile. Really pretty. Well, I can understand in the afternoon, but you need the sun.
I agree. I never asked for a single blind visor shade.
I can understand.
You better come over here.
Yeah. I can understand if they get it, to block the sun in the afternoon, because I think the sun does really shine.
Well, actually, in the afternoon, it does that. By about 11:30, the sun's gone over here. So no sun. It's always in the morning because the sun comes this way.
Yeah.
So it comes in.
Okay. I don't know my directions. Wow. Ooh, those are vultures.
Well, they're not vultures. They don't have vultures.
Yeah, you do. Those are vultures. They're on their bike ride. You don't have vultures?
Ooh, not here, right here in Bond Lake.
Well, they're usually wearing something red. Of course they have vultures all over. They are probably, this is a flyway, and they start migrating. I grew up in eastern North Carolina with turkey buzzards. And
You were good, right?
I did.
No, you did not.
I did too. I did. Northeastern North Carolina. There's buzzards around all the time. Are they still sleeping? They're up in the currents.
Well, several of those are crows. I can tell by the flap of their wing. All right.
Okay, what are we doing?
Oh.
Stretch.
Yeah, you can do it standing. I'm just.
I'll do it standing. You don't mind.
I don't mind.
Thank you. Put the camera on.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I can't believe I'm the only one.
You're VIP. Do you remember? You weren't here Wednesday, right? There's a new couple, Dennis and Cynthia, over here, and they were signed up, and the Mianovic's were signed up.
Yeah, I noticed there was a group of other names.
Up down. Sandy's sister's in town,
Oh, really?
so that's why she's.
Have you talked to Carol?
She was in class on Wednesday.
Oh, she did. Did she get her house and
It was
everything?
Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday, but it was definitely this week. Yeah, they got that.
She had her house all ready?
I didn't ask too much because
Oh, yeah.
she just said she liked the weather down there. That was about right.
She is. She just has a great personality. She makes class fun.
Switch.
I can see how she would be a hostess or a flight attendant. When I was growing up, there were stewardesses.
Yes. They were still when I started flying.
Were they still?
Yeah, what was
they
it?
still have all the
It was in the
restrictions.
90s when the whole PC thing came out.
Yeah, but you have to think I was back in the 40s and 50s.
Right.
I'm trying to remember. I know I flew a lot, but I was trying to remember when they formed unions and they got rid of they used to have requirements. You couldn't wear glasses, you couldn't have bad eyesight, you could only weigh so much, had to be so tall, age, very, so I don't remember when it changed.
I thought it was very interesting how unions protected and gave people, like you said, of all those, the right to work.
Yeah.
But I also feel it created a drop in service. So the union protected the people that needed the right to have the jobs, which I agree with. But it also created these, even if it was a selected bunch, you had great customer service on the plane. I mean, flight attendants were known for being amazing people on the plane. Right? They made your experience great. And you don't get that anymore.
No, you don't. Or you don't even get it from 10 years ago.
So unions are protecting that behavior as well, right? They're protected employees, so they no longer are held to the higher customer service.
I don't really, that's the airlines themselves, because they're going to, knowing corporations, they're always the bottom line.
Well, you know me. I fly any and everybody who gives me the better price to get where I fly. So I fly a lot of different airlines, and I don't have one that I think consistently always gives me like the better. Like I've had great attendance on United and Delta and American and Alaska. I said, and I've had bad ones too. So
yeah.
I can't say that one company is holding a standard that's.
No, it's just that, no, you don't get the service, but like I say, that's cutting costs. That's their profit. They're all profit if they can profit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what it is. And unions don't have the same kind of power they used to have. Their power has been really, really diminished. And that has to do with probably the South and the rise of the What is it? Is it a really
enormous caterpillar? Big, fuzzy, orange and black caterpillar?
Oh, it's not a little woolly.
It's woolly. It's like 2 inches long, but very little. It's big. It's so funny because yesterday we were up there was a beautiful, like not fuzzy, green, bright green caterpillar. Now this guy's out here looking like he's got his winter coat on.
You mean like a hybrid caterpillar?
Yes, Resurrections. I read that book about 1,000 times.
Yeah, but you did. I think it was read to you as a child, too.
I don't remember those ones as much as we were a big Dr. Seuss family. Right now I had all the Dr. Seuss books, which I still have them to this day.
Okay.
Now, didn't think about it then. Now.
Yeah. Oh. I remember. I joined a book club for kids, so they had all kinds of, and as they grew older, then
The books grew older.
The book, yeah, the books. And then when we went to Europe, they were introduced to a different writers, different books that we would get here and go out. Now that I was sort of international. Remember that was back in the 80s.
You missed the. I remember our very first set of Encyclopedia Britannicas, and I remember coming every year to knock on the door to try to do the new set, or at least the compendium of the new inserts and all that stuff. And switch.
Did you have like the world of the book of knowledge or the world book for the kids?
Oh yeah.
Version of,
Oh yeah. I remember that one.
We had the Britannicas as well as the.
But I also remember riding my bike at least once a week, if not 5 times a week, to the library and checking books out.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I got to meet the mayor of Tacoma because I won the reading competition for most books read in whatever time limit it was at that time. You got to read the books, and then you go in, and one of the librarians would sit you down and quiz you on the books to make sure you've actually read the book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so me and I don't remember what it was, 2-3 other kids in the city got to go meet the mayor for our meeting accomplishments.
I think that's great. I'm glad they have those programs now where the kids can, during the summer, they didn't have to read. I think that's great. That's just me, and I think my mask off.
You what? Shut the door. And then just keep it close if that door opens, okay? And much. You're safe, okay?
Yeah.
You're nowhere. You could get the closest it shows is the corner of this metal rack right here. So you've got the whole room to yourself.
Of course, it's just a vanity kind of thing. I don't like putting myself in.
I could just run around with you and know me on camera. What do you got? I'm here! I'd have to sound out.
You know, you always look. I never look like what I think I look like. I don't look like what I actually, in the mirror when I'm looking. I get a photograph, or I say, that can't be me. Just like my voice.
Oh, the voice, I agree with you on the visual. Sometimes, you just, an angle, good, from here, we're going to modify jumping jack. So, you'll see the pictures or videos or whatever yourself, and, maybe they're looking up and they're catching an extra chin, right? It's like, But the voice thing gets me all the time. I'm like, what? This is not, I'm not proud of. Like, really? Did I sound that squeaky when I said that?
I was like, oh no, that can't be me. It isn't what I hear. Or that isn't what I see.
Well, I had the opposite yesterday. I sent a video. I use that app called Marco Polo. I send little videos. So instead of sending a text, you can just talk into a little video, and then they get the video and mark it in.
Yeah.
In my travel group, guys, we have a group chat.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to say hi, and I got on, and I don't know what it was, the lighting of the sunny day, but I was like, oh, you look good today, Todd. So I was teasing them. I'm like, I just marked you because I look this way today, guys, and I wanted everybody to go and see me.
That's great. That's so confident about it. That's, everybody needs a little ego.
Well, you gotta feel good about you.
Yes.
I don't need to compare myself to some heartfelt on TV or whatnot or a movie. I want to feel good about me.
Yeah. That's the correct attitude.
When I was in college, I remember one day I was down in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Doing my laundry, a big room for the whole apartment complex. And some girl came in. Good, let's step out. Why? We'll stop some there. And she was just talking.
Yeah.
Cute college girl. I'll take Lori, it's not like that, but it's like so random. Who I was not used to people coming in and talk to me. So I don't remember it was AOL at that time. I don't think Facebook was out, but there was a little thing about putting your quote. And my quote for the ever was, I must be cute today. And it all came from the fact that why was somebody just randomly talking to me? And I told Lori that. I was like, man, I must be cute today.
Of course you do. Of course not. So did you start going with Lori in college?
Yeah, first college. I met Lori in community college.
Okay.
And then we both transferred together to Wazoo.
Oh.
March it out.
Okay,
I knew I wanted to continue my education, but I didn't really care where. Lori was interested in Wazoo, so it was just, I applied there too. 4-year was 4-year at that time. That's what I remember. It was giving me like, if some husky guy wants to talk smack to me, because I went to Wazoo, he was like, I didn't go to Wazoo for the football team, people. I could care less about it. Of course I wanted to win. I mean, I'm a proud alumni in my school, but I didn't go there for football. It's like it doesn't bother me if the Cougs lose, really, or if they win,
Yeah, I think the Cougs have a when it comes to UW, because, like the year they were winning all of their games.
Oh, Gardner Minshew was, yeah, we all thought that was the year, huh?
And I really think that because they lose, and I think it's a mental thing. I don't think it's.
Well, it definitely is a mental thing. A lot of stress, right? It was like when the Cubs hadn't won the World Series forever and ever, and it was just this curse, right? The curse of Wrigley Field, the curse of the Cubs, and how much pressure is that as a player, to know that like some city hasn't had its World Series in 67 years and they're putting all the pressure on you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the Mariners choked last night.
Pardon?
The Mariners choked last night.
Oh, they did?
Like that. They had a chance to win the game twice. Like an easy chance to win the game twice, and they failed. And here's a team of young kids who've had a great year, and the stadium was packed. They were almost sold out yesterday.
Yeah.
And, the season's not over. We got 2 more games, and anything can happen, but it was actually in our control. We had the wild card spot. We just had to win out. And we lose that one, and now we have to have other teams lose again while we continue to win. Okay, let's break that down.
Well, CJ, probably the problem was that so what are we doing?
But did you know the Mariners are have the longest period of time since any major team to be in the playoffs?
Oh, wow. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I can't remember that because I remember being in the playoffs, right? But not realizing how long ago that was. It was like 19, 20 years since they've been in the playoffs, let alone they've never won a World Series. They've never been in a World Series, but they've been in the playoffs. So it's a pretty big deal.
Well, yesterday probably was too easy for them. Because they won in Anaheim, and they won, was it at the last minute or something?
Well, they won like 12 or 13 straight games.
Yeah.
But we were only down by 1 run. In the 7th inning, we put a runner switch sides. We put a runner on first and third, go out. Runner on third base, go out. And we 3 batters in a row struck out.
Wow.
Seriously. And then in the bottom of the 9th, still down only 1 run. Kyle Seager hits a leadoff double. No outs. Sitting on second base. Never left second base. 3 outs. Never moved him.
Wow.
So they had 2 chances to tie or win that game. And they just couldn't make it happen.
How did it? Well, the pitcher, they must have really put someone in that was.
We lost 2-1. Our pitcher pitched great.
Yeah.
He had one double that scored 2 runs, and he never gave up another run. And we even out hit them.
The stats are, I was just wondering about, I assume that they have a relief pitcher?
Us or them?
Them.
Oh, yeah. I think they went through 3, 4, maybe 5 pitchers yesterday.
I might be 10, that's it.
Well, let's take 7. Should have been known to not drop the hips. There. Oh, there. No hips. Just providing this.
I find that if I do that, then I want to hold my back out rather than in.
Well, that is what you're doing. So you're coming like this, bending a little bit, and then dropping like this.
You know what it seems like with my arms.
As opposed to bending the arm, bend all the way through. We come out of that, and we're going to flip 1 foot up. We're going to do our calf. So top calf, bottom calf, top calf, bottom calf. Hey, I'm super proud of the Mariners. If they don't make the playoffs, I don't care. They've had an absolutely phenomenal season. Nobody expected them to have this season. They played even harder here in the back half. You know what I mean? Players have done things nobody expected. We picked up this kid, Ty France, just a year ago in a trade. And by another player getting hurt, put him at first base. He has the best fielding percentage at first base in all of baseball. He's probably going to get hold of he's our best hitter by average. Kyle Seager's hit more home runs than he ever has in his career this season. He's hit more RBIs than he ever has in his career this season. J.P. Crawford's had a phenomenal year, probably going to get a Gold Glove again. Mitch Haniger hit more home runs than he ever has this season. I mean, we've had all these highlights. We had a beat-up pitching staff and somehow we pulled a kid over from Korea. He's an American that was pitching over there, not even in the big leagues. And he leads our team in wins. Chris Flexen, he's done outstanding. Marco came back from injury.
How young are they?
They're young. They're one of the youngest teams in baseball.
They probably get along. There's probably.
Yeah, I do think they're gelling to get on. So imagine next year. That's what I'm excited about. Like, if they don't do something really good next year, then I'll actually be disappointed.
Yeah.
They had this year of understanding they can play, but they needed some more experience. They needed to go through some tough things. And they'll be all better for that.
Well, some of it is games that they can pull out. The reason I know this is my son-in-law.
And then they're out of it. Good. Let's turn that shit around and go back to the lunches. This one, too. What's the seaplane? Inside leg drop to that line. I mean, I'm more concerned about our Seahawks than I am America. Seahawks. Big.
I think Russell Williams is kind of reaching his heyday.
No, but I think he's become a prima donna. I think he's become this little pedestal player instead of someone who's out there just constantly winning and driving himself. I think he's more of a businessman now than he is a football player. I don't think he's old, and I don't think he's anywhere near past his prime. But I think he's changed.
He's one of the highest paid players.
Yeah.
The very highest.
Six.
I think it was Jerry Solomon. Whatever his name was. Saw that with who's he with? Dallas Cowboys. But there's a lot of them that they're really paid well.
Too low.
I agree.
Again, I don't know if you were here for that class we're talking about it. It's like,
Oh well.
you're paid to do a job, right? And in football, you got money because by position based on kind of how badly you got beat up. And your duties. So not only did the quarterback have to be the general, the leader, right? That person that had to make all the decisions. They also put their bodies in jeopardy because they're getting hit while they're trying to throw a ball or,
Yeah.
And so you're paying them more. Their duty was pretty high. Now, the NFL's developed all these rules to protect the quarterback, and you just keep paying them more. And they don't have to get hurt anymore. They don't have to get beat up anymore. You're letting them have more decisions, and all of a sudden, you're a quarterback, and you think you get to tell the owner who they should draft. It's like your job. Go up there and lead your team to a victory. You're fast. I'm on the 9. Hang on, foot up.
That's great.
Good. I was noticing earlier the sun is a little bit spotting in some of the red right now. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it
You
is.
got the low look here. You got some of this red right over there on the Cascadia turn. You got your red up on that one tiny one that always turns red right up on the hillside.
Yeah.
The road right here's got red. Go along with the oranges and yellows. So I learned this week what the larches are. I never knew what the larches were.
What is a large?
It's a tree
Okay. What?
that in the fall turns gold. And there's a tremendous amount of them up north in the Cascades.
Yeah.
So my friends want to go on a hike Monday because all the larches are colored and beautiful.
Yeah. I'll have to look at it. I think I know what they're doing.
Most of them turn like this radiant gold. And this one particular hike surrounds a lake. And so you get this beautiful blue aquas with the green firs, and then these largest turning gold, plus the natural reds. It's quite
Gorgeous.
breathtaking. Yeah, but the drive to the hike from my doorstep is 186 miles.
So what time are you going to leave? 5 o'clock?
Well, if I go, and I'm not committed yet, go ahead and take that down. Back to the side first. I'm thinking of leaving tomorrow and driving to a town called Winthrop and staying the night there. Winthrop's pretty close to the trail.
Yeah.
And then going in the morning to the trail hiking, and then only having to drive home the 186, not 186 twice in a day. My brain can't fathom 7 hours of driving to 2.5 hours of hiking.
Yeah.
Like I know it's going to be beautiful, I really do, but
Well,
cost to benefit.
Yeah, that should be. The little town is it? How large is it?
Winthrop's really tiny. It looks like an old western. Full-on saloon-looking buildings, everything. It's very old, very cute, very historic.
That's.
Lori can't go though.
Oh, she can't. She working?
She has to do charge on Monday, so Good Sam got smart. Instead of losing nurses to other hospitals paying bonuses, they offered retention bonuses this week to sign a 1-year stay contract. Lori got the biggest one offered. Not her person, her position, all of them got it. So, yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
It was way, way higher than what I was thinking.
That you were at happy camp? Yay!
Well, I made a joke. She was going to Costco today. And she says, anything we need? And I said, I don't know, check like olive oil, butter, blah, blah. And I said, and a 70-inch HD Ultra TV. She goes, did you want to use some of the bonus for that? I said, yes, I do. But no, I don't. I said, it's great for out in school and do some more house improvements. I mean, our home's almost 17 years old now.
Yeah, it's 13.
And we haven't had to do any major, right? No paint, no roofing, no nothing, so it's time.
Yes, it
To
is.
sort of set pennies aside for that.
Yep. Yeah, that's when it starts when everything starts deteriorating really bad.
Yeah.
I got sweat dripping into the chair.
Good? Good. And yes.
This is terrible. I need to exercise.
Well, the high school, we won 42-0 last night.
Wow.
Bethel High School.
Oh, really? Are they still doing really well?
Yeah, they're undefeated. 5-0.
Seriously? Wow.
That'll be 6-0. Then we have to face Graham Houston for Game 7, and that'll most likely be our first
Loss. So you're already pessimistic here.
It's not pessimistic. I just think both teams.
Realism?
It's realism because I watched us play. Example being, did we switch? We did.
So,
We played Puyallup High School. We hadn't beaten them in 4 years, and we won 26-21. 36-3 was the Graham House Puyallup game. That's the only points Graham House has actually given up this season.
oh,
So they're 5-0. They've given up 3 points. They're huge, they're talented, and they're mean.
yeah.
And I don't know if we're ready for it. I really don't. Watching what I've seen, I've watched all of our games but one live. I could be shocked and awed, but
Maybe you'll be shocked. Maybe they will intimidate the other team.
like we're still not clean. We're winning games, but it's not a clean game. It's pretty ugly. We're bad tacklers. That team, there's no forgiveness. You do that to them, you're done.
Where are they from?
Graham Kapowski is just past Puyallup South. So if you go around Meridian, rolling through, going south of Meridian, and you just kept going, you eventually run right into Graham. And Kapowski is like a small subset off of Graham too, so it's combined Graham and Kapowski.
Okay. So even down beyond, I'm trying to think what's the area called that's beyond like the law on Meridian. You keep going down and down. You're sort of close to, where the some of the shopping is, the Indian strip mall, but you're not. They're building out there. Cascades Inn,
Charlotte goes pretty far, almost to, there's a golf course way down. Is it La Palma first? Once you get to La Palma, as soon as you pass La Palma, you're pretty much at Mount Hickman.
Okay, so you're way down there.
It's way down there. I mean, it's like 70 miles down Meridian, on the top of Meridian down, not the bottom of Meridian. Once you get to the top, it's like 70 miles down.
What's their
What's that?
Their
Well, I tell you, it's normally like country boy.
Oh, it is? So those guys have muscles.
But the team, a bunch of islanders moved out there, Samoan, Hawaiian, and they have really big boys out there.
Yeah, they do.
Really big boys. On the knees, we go back to those calves, and then our shins pull up. Calves and shins. So in the spring, the high schools do spring ball. It's just a 1 month thing where they practice for the month, and then they can, they basically do like a scrimmage. It's not even a full game. And they hit tackle, but it's not. Usually it's like one school's offense gets 20 straight plays no matter what. And then their defense will get 20, and then you switch. So you can score touchdowns on every play if you want. You just go back. They usually start on like the 40-yard line. Well, we did it with 5 total schools. So Gig Harbor was there, Tahoma, Emerald Ridge, Graham Kapowski, and Summit. Graham Kapowski looked like a college football team show. Just massive, like night and day different from every school there. Like not a single school with anything like them. They were huge, just huge. Yeah, in our high school, we didn't do any scrimmage snaps against them. He didn't want any information and play time against them in spring to dictate what fall ball would actually do. So,
you guys need to run.
a lot of the high schools, for whatever reason, their football programs are dwindling.
Yeah.
So, like the school last night we played with Bethel,
Yeah.
they have no JV.
Ooh.
So, our JV team this Monday is going to play Enumclaw, which isn't even in the same school sizing, but they actually have a JV.
Wow.
Our JV has to play Graham Kapowski 3 times. We've already played them twice. They beat us 57-0 and 62-20. Their JV.
Well, at least they got 20 points the second time. That's saying something. Maybe they let them have it. I don't know.
Well, what's funny is we have our varsity quarterback's a senior, and we have a junior that's sitting right behind him, who was last year's JV quarterback.
Yeah.
The first game, he didn't want to play any JV snaps. He wanted to just do varsity. But he hadn't been getting any playing time. So 2 weeks ago, he played 1 quarter of the, good, bring that down. I want to throw the punch. Of the JV game. And then the next week was Graham Kapowski for the second time. And he played a whole half. And he led us to the 20 points. He's a better quarterback.
Yeah.
But the second half, they were already winning. It was like 35-20 at halftime. Them. And then we put in our 2 sophomore quarterbacks for the second half and never scored again, and they scored another 27 points.
Oh, wow.
So that was, whether they let or not, we put a better leader in for the first half, and so we got better results.
Oh, wow. I have sports, I like basketball. I was actually a cheerleader, but I like basketball.
High school or did you do college too?
High school. No, not college. I was old when I went to college.
Does
Oh,
he
it's one of
get
the elder.
restricted?
Oh, no, the elder students. I had been sort of part-time before, but this was when I really been there. I was older.
I think my grandmother's just passed away since, but she was 60-something when she got her master's degree.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She went back to Seattle U and got a master's degree in writing
Good for her.
and wrote a book.
Good for her. Well, 60 isn't old. Just wait till you get 60. It's going to seem young.
Oh, I don't think 60 is old. I'm just saying she went back to school at 60, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's cool.
No, but when I was probably your age, I probably didn't think 60 was old, but it was getting there. But not anymore.
Well, you know, when we did Camp Mirror, I had people who did it who were willing to write me a little synopsis of the whole experience. I said, anything you want, your personal thing, like this or that, anything you want, quote, whatever. And I know Greg, he wrote this cool little quip, and he said, I don't remember my mom doing this stuff at 70.
Oh,
Right?
I'm not
And that was a sign of how it changed, right? That we're not old at 60, we're not old at 70. We're just not. We have all this stuff we can still do,
Yeah.
as long as we stay active and fit.
Yeah. My mother exercised on her own. I always remember. She'd get up in the morning and touch her toes. And then she would go to bed. Before she went to bed, she touched her. She worked. She was a beautiful old lady, just gorgeous. She was a busy little thing, I tell you.
I remember just before she passed, my grandmother showing me all the stuff she used to do for her hands, and I thought it was really cool. She had all these little hand exercises and rubs that she did, whether she learned them or just decided to do them, that she felt kept her hands mobile and active, like never arthritic and broken.
Yeah.
She would rub up and down the side joints of her knuckles and do all these different things. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool. We need these in here. I just have them. Oh,
I think arthritis and osteoporosis, quite often that's inherited. The gene is,
You know what percentage of the population has arthritis?
I don't know.
90.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But only 10% of those actually suffer pain. Right?
I don't know.
But it's very common for like even kids to have arthritis.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're going to have some severe pain or limitations. You just have to be aware of what it is and what to do about it. Last of these.
I think I've been tested. I don't know. I got more osteoporosis. I'm lucky. I'm really lucky.
Well, osteoporosis is pretty preventable.
Some of it is inherited, and they don't get rid of it. When it's older,
But getting rid of it and living with it are two different things. You do not have to let osteoporosis. Proper diet, proper exercise keeps a lot of what it does at bay.
well, there's some that they end up with the brittle bones, and they.
Correct. But did you know that the opposite, by creating load-based exercises, body weight, and weight-based exercises, you can do the opposite and you increase bone density. So you can fight the effects of the brittle bone syndrome with the load.
I have sweat in my eyes.
You can get it. I'll just do extra.
Ooh. Oh, man.
Well,
Yeah, you're having a class online.
we're going. Oh no, it's not that. I just want to do extra.
Yeah.
We're going shoe shopping.
Oh, you are good for you.
I need new tennies, like lots of new tennies. 2, 3 pairs.
Did you still get yours now at this one shoe store?
I usually go to the supermall. I like the Adidas outlet.
Okay. Oh, you got down to Auburn.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
A couple times I've ordered shoes off Amazon, like, I can't stick my foot in it. It's really tough, and a lot of times I've gotten shoes that just aren't comfortable for me. because I didn't get to try it out.
Yeah, those shoes are something you almost need to try on. Unless you have a brand that you know that is going to work.
But you almost have to have the model too, right? Because
Yeah,
the brand
yeah.
can have so many. Adidas makes
Yes.
200 plus different styles of shoes.
Yeah.
300 plus, I don't know. And I found that I wore a hiking shoe 3 years ago that I thought was fabulous. Loved it, right? New model came out. Same name. So I ordered it on Amazon because I'd already worn it. Completely different shoe. Completely different. The worst. I wore them on one hike and they're my gardening shoes. Like I didn't want to throw them away.
Yeah, that's very expensive.
But they're kind of rugged, so I can wear them outside and do yard work.
Yeah, but they're kind of garden work.
Well, things like I'm going to get muddy and dirty, and I don't mind, because they're like when I redid my whole backyard, I wore those shoes.
Yeah. See, if I pay a certain amount for shoes, I could try them because they're expensive.
I need my feet too much, right? I'm on them all day.
Yeah, you
I have
are.
to be active in teaching classes and showing clients I can't have beat up feet.
How did you decide to go into, you were talking about when you first started college and weren't sure what you wanted to do. How did you decide that you really wanted to be into physical fitness?
Oh, I didn't. I left college with my degree, and I was an athlete.
Yes.
But I didn't. I went back, I got home, and I started working at a restaurant. And then from the restaurant, I got a job at Nordstrom's. And I was making pretty good money. I was very, my mouth and my knowledge base. So I was very good salesperson at Nordstrom's. My first year in Minnesota, so I sold over $500,000 of pop. Yeah, I was number 3 in the state. In my department.
Yeah.
And then they fired me for unwilling to follow Nordstrom's policy, which meant I got sick and tired of returning stolen merchandise to drug users for cash. And I wouldn't do it.
Oh, wow.
And so, they'd go up complaining I was not following Nordstrom's policies, and they just, I was tired of it. You would get a call. I worked at South Center. I'd get a call from downtown. Be on the lookout for a Remy Martin leather coat. It just got snatched and grabbed. And within
Seriously?
20 minutes of that call, that person would show up at my store, right? Alarm sensor tag still on it, everything still on it, no Nordstrom salesperson sticker on it, and they'd go, yeah, this didn't work out, and I need to return it. There was times they would come in bleeding. They had drug scabs all over their hands, bleeding on the product, demanding a refund. Now, I think the one thing for the refund, but on the counter of that, the store manager would come down, and she would yell at each department that we're not hitting the store's goals for the day. And you could go online, you could punch in your own computer, you could see that maybe the store had a $100,000 goal for the day, right? The whole store.
Yeah.
And we'd be at like $110,000 in sales. At goal. But we'd be at $75,000 in returns. Because Nordstrom's policy, yeah. Return anything. And so I got safety reasons, I just got it, so they can't use for that. At that time, I was chilling at home, not sure what I was going to do. And there was a job fair, sit up, punch up. It was in Seattle. It was actually at Lumen Field. I'm calling it Lumen now. It wasn't Lumen then. At their little convention area.
Yeah.
And I went there, and I'm just looking around, looking for inspiration. This is what I want to do. And there was a booth for 24-hour fitness. So I was asking questions. You go there with your resumes so you can let recruiters look at them. So not only do I have all this sales experience now, I have a degree in fitness and an athletic background. And they freaked out. The recruiter's like, right now, you need to drive, where do you live? Where do you live? And I told him I live in Federal, we have a club in Federal. You go here right now and you ask for this person right now. So I did. And they hired me on the spot. I wanted to be a trainer, but at that time, you had to go through 24-hour fitness's own certification to be a trainer. And those classes that happen like once a month. and it already passed. So they asked me to come on as a salesperson until the class started. I was like, all right. So I did until this, fitness class we had to take. And took my fitness class, which was obviously a piece of cake after coming from a full-on 4-year degree. And I started there.
Oh,
9 months.
yeah, it's amazing how things happen.
9 months later, I was running that club at Enough Fitness. 23 months after that, I was running the entire district. Did that for a year, switched to another company, and that company's district. Yeah, I was pretty big in the area for a long time, and then I just decided to dumb it back down. Got tired of all that, and being away from my family.
Yeah. Well, if you're selling and you're in charge of a district, yeah, you would be going.
Well, at the
A
time,
lot.
I'm in the Pacific Northwest Division. I had 17 24-hour fitnesses I had to oversee, ranging from Lakewood, Washington, to Mount Vernon, Washington. And I was required to hit at least each club twice a month. So it meant I had to at least twice a month drive all the way to Mount Vernon. I had clubs in Kirkland, Bellevue, Linwood, Shoreline, downtown Seattle, Kent, Renton, Federal Way, Auburn, West Seattle. So it wasn't even a straight line. Like it was, zigzagging all over the place.
Yeah.
And it just got to be a lot. So when I switched to just downtown, that was different. But that's a whole other story. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my degree. When I started as a trainer, I'd only had time with athletes. All my training had been working with athletes and being an athlete. So I hired a trainer there at my own club. Still a very, very good friend of mine today. Didn't take the dog.
Oh.
I hired a trainer. And we got done. I think I trained him for like 3 months in the process. I said, oh man, this is great. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, I'm taking everything you taught me. He goes, oh yeah? I said, I'm going to change one thing. He said, what's that? So I'm going to add a personality on it. Because Nick's the most socially, homeschool, military kid, brilliant as a trainer, but just no human interaction. It was just work all the time.
Yes.
And it was history. I just started a fitness center. I've never, only my time in the district for 24 hours did I stop personal training. So for that year for 24-hour fitness. But even when I was district for other clubs, I started picking up clients just because I've always loved to work with people. And I think practicing what you preach is huge. It's really easy for me to show other trainers that I'm training, other fitness managers, what it is that I looked for, and what I felt was proper service and proper safety.
Wow. Yeah, it's just kind of weird how things happen. You get where you're going some way, and you look back and think, how did that happen? I got what I wanted, but
So right
very
before
circuitous.
this, I co-owned Martial Arts Studio. That's what I was doing. I was an instructor and a co-owner. And then my dad suddenly got that, right? It was pretty fast. And I sat there and I said, this isn't what I meant to do. I don't want to be 50, be a human punching bag. No, not old. I'm being a human punching bag for kickboxing students, you know?
Yeah, I understand.
And I told my business partner that I was done. He was very jaded and upset.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about the Asian, the Korean K-dramas and stuff like that. They're filled quite often with a lot of action and a lot of martial arts, skills.
Oh, yeah.
Just skills.
It's also why in Bioso, what I think is a good action movie. People are like, you didn't like that? I was like, that's all horrible. It was all fake. It was all quit hiring pretty people. Hire people that know what they're doing, that can still act and do the role, like an actual martial, you know what I mean? So I do identify. And what's really neat about the K-dramas, they all have to serve their time in the military.
Yeah, they do. Well, in Korea, they do.
And so they're physically trained in combat and martial arts.
Yeah.
So when they do their action scenes, they look a heck of a lot better than our really poor American actors who've not gone through that.
I was watching one. Just finished it. It's historical. I like historical.
Oh, you were just talking about this.
China, but this was Chinese. The other one was Chinese too. It was just really well done. It was really expensively done, and it was good. But anyway, this one was okay. It was not, but they had a lot of martial arts. But I mean, those guys get up and and they twirl and kick, and it's really kind of interesting.
Well, China's very famous for their wire work too, right? So you get really awesome stunt, Hong Kong action stunt stuff.
Yeah.
And this was side stuff.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Did you see on Netflix Squid Game?
I saw it advertised. I haven't.
It's dark.
I didn't even.
It does definitely dwell into that human dark trait, what we are willing to turn ourselves into for different reasons,
There is one, and I can't remember the name of it, but I watched it. I watched most of it, and then it reached a point where it got so dark. It was about an athlete, and did he play baseball?
Oh, is that the one where he gets sent to prison?
I think he does, but he gets out and he gets with his mom.
Huh. I just remember there was I haven't watched it, there's one that's called something, and it was the guy was a star baseball player, and then someone frames him or something.
It's all about revenge, and it gets really, really dark. And so I can't deal with this. Don't need this in my life right now. So it was good, but the story was decent. Some of them I can't tolerate because they're too silly. The women are too silly. The men are not really serious. And they go, oh my God, that's just silly.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Good. That for?
Because they aren't silly. I can assure you.
No, I know.
Pretty
I
serious.
really, have you spent time with Freedom?
I know just this day. That's all.
I just want to go there and not only obviously experience the culture, I want to eat. I want to eat myself a trip around Korea.
You can eat and drink all you want.
But I'm fascinated.
Everything is easy.
I watched a special the other day, and it was actually a really good stupid clip or something on Facebook. It was two girls from Australia that were living in Korea. They were like, why we like Korea better. And some of the stuff was just like, they said, look at this convenience store. Like, look what you can buy at a convenience store that's not only amazing quality food, but look at your pricing. Like, bottles of water, were 50 cents, where we paid $4 for a bottle of water at a convenience store, right? And they didn't. And it was just all these things, and I've seen that. I follow another girl who does those ASMR, they're called mukbang videos.
I don't really know.
Well, they're mainly to watch people eat, and they are mic'd up, so it's kind of gross. I don't care about that part of it, but this one particular girl, she cooks all of her food first.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated by the dishes she makes up, about her eating the dishes.
Yeah.
I enjoy the first half of the video where she's making all the food, and I'm like, I got it. And she does episodes like convenience store dinner. And she'll go in, the camera, and she'll shot put it, and then she'll take it back, and you see what she'll say, you bought all this stuff for the little convenience. It's amazing, right? It's like, you can't even get that quality at the grocery store.
Yeah, you can. It's when you hear the slurping in a little bit. Because I'm not used to it. And if you're not used to it, and I never did get used to it. Or they eat fat, a lot of, pork fat.
The texture.
And if people don't like fat, it's, they're going, wow. But they eat and drink.
The more drinking country in the world.
But the food is tied to emotions a lot.
Lots of them.
And it's amazing how Well, I mean, even here, it's tied to emotion.
But you know what I think is neat is even though like Korea has, like I said, they drink more alcohol per person than any country in the world. But they create a society where they try to protect that in the sense that it is shameful to drink alone. You should never drink alone. You're frowned upon, not really, they taxi everywhere. They don't drink and drive, right? I mean, they do things that at least make sense. Create better working relationships. I mean, it's very common, right after work, for the manager to take this whole group to eat. So they do, very common.
They're not as formal. Well, none of them are as formal as the Japanese. The Japanese are quite formal.
Yes.
They're very formal. Good food, though.
I know, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a former teammate from Wazoo who was over on an international exchange for school. Who's from Japan.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him in 20 years. But he's always told me to come over whenever I can. I just haven't been able to yet.
It's an amazing country to visit.
Absolutely.
It is.
And I will visit him. Does Halloween? You should. 2 years ago, right before COVID, I'd asked Lori if she finally pull me up and take a trip to Japan with me.
Oh, she would love it.
She would love it. But her whole thing is not about the country, it's about getting to the country. She literally has so much phobia about getting off, but not for fear of flying. She's not comfortable flying. It's not that, it's pain for her. She has bad sciatica, sitting on a plane for long hours isn't pleasant. It doesn't matter how many movies and how many times they feed her. It just hurts her to be on a plane. So it takes a lot. That's why we don't travel as often. We go, how come Lori doesn't go with you? Because she's a mom, she's always invited. She's invited everywhere, right? My friend Candy invited me to the hike. She didn't say anything about Lori. I invited her to that. You want to do this hike? Yeah, I want to do it. Okay, I can't, but I try. Okay. But I invited you. It's not, I don't plan things without my wife.
Yeah.
She just chooses not to do things. And still allows me to go experience the things even though she doesn't want to. She doesn't hold me back.
She trusts you. That's good.
Yeah. When I go with good people,
Yeah.
She knows. I have a very good, people comment on it all the time, your friend circle is pretty, credible. It's well, why would you ever surround yourself with people that aren't? The people you surround yourself should make you better.
Yeah.
They should make you a stronger, capable. You should strive to be better yourself because you're around people that do better, right? Why would I ever have somebody that's going to lead me astray? I mean, I should be that person. I should be that person. All right, one back. One circle. Let's do that 3 times. Back. One circle. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining the Todd and Pepsi time. Hope we entertained you with our conversations.